Mr. Mohamed Hamel joins me now. He is the OPEC governor for Algeria and senior advisor to the Algerian oil minister. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, the OPEC IEA discussion, this has been going on for several years, but how important is this dialogue?
Well, it is extremely important given the challenges and the evolutions in the energy sector, the importance of this sector to the world economy in general. And I am very pleased to see that it has evolved in a very positive manner. Attendance is great. There is a very rich exchange of views, of opinions. Attendance is diverse. We have now the industry, we have producers, we have consumers, academia, and it is a very rich exchanges of views. So definitely, yes, it is important, and it is becoming even more important.
And where would you see the role of the International Energy Forum in this? How important and relevant is the International Energy Forum?
Well, I see its role extremely important as a platform facilitating this dialogue, also as harmonizing the views, the data, the methodologies. And I think the IEF has done a great job since it has embarked in this exercise in the early 2000s. And also after the Cancun Declaration, I see that the joint program, IEF, OPEC and IEA, is being implemented successfully. And I am very pleased with this evolution. I'm saying it because I was one of those who have drafted the Cancun Declaration in collaboration with the IEF and OPEC when I was at that time the head of the energy studies in OPEC.
And of course, given your background and your great experience working with all of the groups over the last few years, this is now the 7th symposium. Have you really seen this almost mature and grow in terms of better relevance? And again, you talk about the diverse group of people here, the idea that you have this frank discussion, and I think it improves every year.
Yes, indeed, it improves every year. It is, I think, becoming even more important because the challenges facing the energy sector are greater, be they related to demand. I mean, we see huge potential evolutions coming in, for example, in the transport sector, the electrification of the transport sector. There are huge uncertainties associated with this evolution. We see also changes in the natural gas markets, the competition between coal and natural gas. In addition, we have seen this huge growth in renewables. You have also policy-driven changes, technology, and finally, as you are aware, we had recently the landmark agreement, the Paris Agreement, and with its potential huge impacts on the energy sector. So these exchanges of views, deliberations, presentations, outlooks are really very useful to have a better idea about the potential evolution of this important energy sector.
And of course, another landmark decision and a landmark agreement that you have personally been very, very involved in, and it's close to your heart too, the Algiers agreement. Give us just a feeling for a lot of the work that went in with you and your minister and all of the teams that you actually had, the dialogue that went on to actually get that in place. That was a lot of work.
Yes, indeed, it was a lot of work and cooperation of all. We were very, very pleased to see that there was a convergence of views, that there is a need for cooperation, collaboration in order to stabilize the oil market. It began in Algiers in September, and that was a very important historical framework agreement, which has been then followed by the agreement among OPEC member countries in Vienna on November 30. And then this also landmark and historic agreement between OPEC and non-OPEC. And I am extremely pleased to see that implementation-wise, it is going very well. It is very successful. The average compliance rate is higher than 90%, which is here a historical figure, and it is a success. So far, so good.
And indeed, you must be very encouraged by also the response from the market, because I think in the beginning there were people out there who were doubting that it would actually work. But it must be very encouraging for you and, of course, all of the people who work so hard on this to now, months later, actually see this and see the response coming from the market.
Yes, indeed, we have now a very positive response for the market. The market is being stabilized. Of course, the effects of the cuts are not yet fully seen in the stocks themselves. There is a time lag, but we are very optimistic that the objective of reducing the stock overhang will be achieved, I hope, sooner than later.